Let's talk about 5v5 soccer tactics. We'll explore three popular formations in 5v5, the 1-2-1, the 2-1-1, and the 1-1-2. Each formation has its own strengths and weaknesses, and you will need to understand the players that you have and how they react in the soccer context. If you care only about the patterns of play in attacking mode, check out the timestamp and jump straight into it. Let's break down each formation and discuss how to approach setting up your team. This is the natural evolution of the diamond formation when playing 4v4, but we add the goalkeeper at the back. While in the US youth system players start with 4v4, some European countries start with 5v5. Futsal is also famously played across the world, exactly in 5v5. This is the most common formation that is used. We have one central defender, one midfielder at each side and one striker. It's simple and predictable, but it's incredibly effective and flexible. When defending low, the primary focus is on maintaining compactness and preventing any gaps between the lines. The defender at the back should stay tight to the opponent's forward, while the two midfielders need to position themselves slightly ahead of the defender to prevent through balls. The forward in this case may be tasked with blocking passing lanes or keeping the opponent's defense engaged so the team can quickly win the ball back. When your team loses possession in the 1-2-1 formation, the two midfielders need to immediately track back to help cover space. The defender at the back should act as a last line of defense just ahead of the goalkeeper who might need to step out to intercept a long ball forward. However, note that the field for 5v5 is small and they might try direct shots on goal from anywhere, unless there is a rule in the league that only shots past half are allowed. The forward needs to apply pressure and try to disrupt any counterattacks, or even steal the ball. It's important to quickly shift into a more defensive shape, with the forward tracking back as necessary to support the midfielders in preventing through balls or dangerous passes. In a counter-attacking scenario, the 1-2-1 formation is ideal for quick transitions. The forward, who is often closer to the opponent's goal, can exploit any space left by the opposing defense, usually on the sides. If that happens, then the midfielder on that side will cut to the center to allow for a cut back, while the defender shifts on that same side to provide options for safety. Alternatively, the two midfielders can look to play direct passes into the forward as quickly as possible. Then the striker can either try to turn around and do 1v1 against their defender, or if that is not possible, they act as a distributor to the two wings that sprint forward. If they are effective in outrunning their defenders, then often the central defender needs to drop and that allows space for the striker to turn. Speed and directness are the main tactics when counter-attacking in this setup. When your team is in possession, attacking patiently is key. The 1-2-1 formation allows the two midfielders to control the tempo by maintaining possession and looking for openings. The forward can either hold up the ball to bring others into play or make runs to stretch the defense. However, what happens more often in 5-a-side is that we try to keep the center of the opponent half mostly free for run-ins. So, the formation looks more like a square and the goalkeeper even moves up as a final option for safety. Let's go through some patterns of play to explain how to break a low block in 5v5 soccer. When attacking against a low block, you must bring some chaos, ideally close to the opponent's goal. The easiest way is for the wide midfielder to go towards the wide attacker, dragging their own player. Then you have several options. One is for the same player to sprint back to receive the ball. Another one is for the attacker to do the same, essentially exchanging their roles with the defender making a basketball-style block. Then you have the next level thinking of changing the plan. For example, the player jogs there and then switches direction to the middle can really create chance almost out of nothing. Or the attacker appears to just run back, but then uses the block to get in front of the goal. These happen very often on 5-a-side games where the space is just so small. Another chaotic moment for the defenders is by having a player receive the ball centrally, like a striker. The important part is actually for other players to have that movement and change in direction while the ball is arriving for the striker. The simple way is for the wide defender to actually sprint forward and beat their opponent, creating a 2v1 situation and often a clean shot. However, while the player is running forward as the ball is arriving to the striker, forcing their defender to drop, too. They can also cut to the middle to receive a one-touch drop for a shot. The striker and their defender actually work to block the visual of the keeper in this case, not just blocking the shot. One of the favorite tricks that futsal players do is fake receiving and actually leaving the ball. For example, one of the attacking players comes centrally to receive the ball, leaves the ball for the second attacker. The defender is staying close and expect that ball to be received, so the momentum prevents them from turning sharply. That leads to an easy goal. Now we are ready to go to the next formation 2-1-1. You have two defenders at the back, one midfielder, and one forward. This looks like a more defensive formation, and it is. Overall, if the strength of the team is with the central midfielder and the striker, then it's a great option to explore. Don't forget the goalkeeper, because with them we get a diamond shape at the back plus a striker up front. When defending low, the two defenders must stay compact and communicate to prevent any central penetrations. The midfielder should drop deep into the defense if necessary, providing an additional layer of protection and covering any gaps left by the defenders. The forward must remain alert to intercept passes and prevent the opposition from easily progressing the ball into the final third. The downside in defense is that the central area in front of the keeper can look a bit empty. When your team loses possession, the two defenders in the 2-1-1 formation should immediately step up to limit the space and close down passing lanes. The midfielder needs to quickly track back to support the defense, while the forward must press high to slow down any potential counterattacks. If the player that should be marked by the central midfielder outruns them, then the defender further away from the ball needs to cover for them and slow down the attack. It's important to collapse quickly into a defensive shape to block any immediate attacking threats. Transitioning back into defense is crucial in maintaining a solid shape and recovering possession. For counterattacking in a 2-1-1 setup, the two defenders should quickly distribute the ball to the midfielder or forward, aiming for direct, fast passes. The forward in this case is crucial for exploiting the space behind the opposing defense and to the sides. If the forward receives the ball on the flanks, then the midfielder needs to sprint through the middle or the opposite side for an opportunity. If the forward receives it centrally, then the midfielder runs onto the sides. The two defenders at the back need to be aware of the potential for a quick turnover, and the midfielder should support the forward with fast runs or through balls to catch the opposition off guard. In attack, the 2-1-1 formation provides a solid foundation to maintain possession and build through the midfield. The midfield player acts as the playmaker, dictating the tempo, while the two defenders can step forward into the midfield to help support the attack. The forward is usually the focal point, looking for space or trying to link up with the midfielders. The formation naturally morphs into similar patterns of play as the 1-2-1 because the forwards have free options to move, while the back three with the goalkeeper form the line. In the 1-1-2 formation, you have a single defender, one midfielder, and two forwards. When defending low, the lone defender must stay tight and alert to any attacking runs, while the midfielder provides support by dropping into a deeper position to help with ball recovery. The forward should press high and force the opponent to play long or wide. The midfielder must also be aware of any gaps in the center and adjust their positioning accordingly. After losing possession in the 1-1-2 formation, the midfielder should track back quickly, while the forwards apply pressure higher up the field to force the opposition to play backwards. The single defender at the back needs to be aware of both the ball and the positioning of the forwards, being ready to step up or cover depending on the situation. It's vital to transition quickly from attack to defense to avoid being caught out. For counterattacking, the 1-1-2 formation is perfect for exploiting fast transitions. The midfielder should look to quickly release the ball to one of the forwards, who can then use their speed to exploit space behind the opponent's defense. The lone defender must stay aware in case the ball is lost, quickly recovering and providing cover if the counterattack is unsuccessful. The forward should remain aggressive and look to punish any defensive lapses. In possession, the 1-1-2 formation creates a more attacking shape with two forwards up top. The midfielder acts as the link between the defense and attack, controlling the tempo and distributing the ball to the forwards or supporting from deep. The forwards can either hold up the ball, making runs to stretch the defense, or work together to create space for each other. Patience is essential, as they need to wait for the right opportunity to break down the defense with accurate passes and well-timed runs. In this video, we've explored how to play through the four phases of play in three common 5v5 formations: 1-2-1, 2-1-1, and 1-1-2. Each formation has its own tactical advantages, whether you're defending, transitioning, attacking patiently, or counterattacking. Understanding how to adapt to these phases and work together as a team is key to succeeding in 5v5 soccer. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tactical insights.